The Soldano SLO-30. This is like my perfect amp. This is like my ideal amp in almost every way. It's the SLO-100 with a few updates that Mike made and the same power section and everything. They just kind of scaled it down so it's not the same amount of wattage. In this video, I'll go through a couple different sounds. Now, as you know, I'm not a metal guy per se. I like it, I just suck at playing it. So I'm gonna play a few different tones that I haven't really heard anyone else do so far because my style's a little bit different. But this is how I'll do it. I'm gonna show you the different channels and kind of how I would use them. I'm on the clean channel, but on this version, there is now a crunch setting to it as well. So we'll just flip that on. That's probably where I would live at most of the time personally. As it does have a ton of gain, but this is like sort of medium, a little bit more beefy, a little less mid-range that I just really love. Just nice and beefy and everything you'd want a good amp to be. It's ungodly amazing. I love this thing. All right, and for fun, this is obviously my Telecaster made by Whitfill. Let's throw a Les Paul in the mix and see what it does different. So let me turn the gain down a little bit. I actually like even the low gain sounds on this. I know that's a little bit crazy because these are traditionally more of a high gain amp, but this thing does low gain just as well. Just absolutely fantastic. Take it over to the neck pickup. Let's wind that down even a little bit more. It's crazy. It's just got this little bit of grit, still clean, it's still clear, just this little bit of grit. It's fantastic. Let's go over to the clean channel, the completely clean, and I'll show you that as well. Now, again, I told you there's gonna be some disadvantages. Here's one of the disadvantages that I'm not crazy about. There's a fix for it. Well, not a fix, but what I would do in this situation. And it's just simply because of how the circuit is made. And that's whenever you turn it to the clean setting, to the clean switching, it does lose a little bit of volume, overall volume. You can compensate for that. Me personally, if I was gigging with it, I would just simply have a good clean boost pedal in the effects loop. I would have it set for a unity volume situation. So when I hit the clean switch, I'd also hit my clean boost pedal, and there you go, clean volume in a great amp. And the really cool thing about this particular type of bright switch, Most amps, whenever you have a bright switch, as you turn the gain up or the volume up, you kind of lose the effect of that bright just because of where it's at in the circuit. This isn't like that. With the bright off. And again, this bright does work regardless of which channel you're on. So far, we've just worked with the normal channel, which is like a crunch and a clean. You're ready to go to the high gain distortion side. The bright is off and I have the gain back down quite a bit. And here you go. Turn the bright switch on. Let's turn that gain up. Now the way I have it set right now, I have the normal and the overdrive channels at unity volume, so same type of volume, and I'm trying to kind of get similar amounts of gain to them, but I wanted to really show how the different channels really sound. Again, the normal channel is a little bit more bottom end heavy. The overdrive channel is a little bit more mid-rangey, a little tighter. I'll start on the overdrive channel. Now, of course, there are some other features on here. The original SLO-100 just had a presence control. This has a depth control as well. Now, I believe that Mike used to do some mods that added this control to some of those SLO-100s, and now it's on the 30. So it's really cool. It's basically, it's kind of like a lower end bottom frequency thing. It's totally different than the bass control on this. And it just kind of adds a little thump. So sometimes it might be too much depending on what you're going for, what type of, how much gain you have, that sort of thing. But it's a cool thing to either add a little bit of bottom end, a little bit of thump, or even tighten things up. Let's run through the presence dial as well and see how that kind of changes things. And as you can see, my EQ is pretty straight up. I have the mids back down just a little bit, but let's tweak that EQ a little bit so you can kind of see what sort of tones you can get. If you like the 80s rock thing, this will do it like no other amp ever has thought about doing it. But it also can, of course, do all kinds of other things. I mean, Clapton used one of these. Warren Haynes still uses, well, it's SLO-100. And Warren Haynes still uses an SLO-100. 2 of them, if I recall right. It's very versatile, so let's check it out. And that's the SLO-30 from Soldano. I'll put some links in the description so you can check out the website and some other videos regarding this amp. It is a little bit more expensive, I understand that. Just higher quality stuff just is more expensive, whether it's a Gibson Les Paul or even American-made Telecasters, definitely hand-built guitars, Paul Reed Smith guitars, like all that fantastic products that are more expensive, and you get what you pay for. So thanks for watching. Leave your comment below with what you think of this particular amp, and we'll see you next time.